Hi, this is episode 6. Welcome to the podcast, Okay, Karen.
Okay, Karen.
And tonight we are going to be talking about concerts that we have been to.
Yay! Our favorite concerts. Which is kind of weird because we're not really big concert people.
But when you add up all of them you've been to, Angela, you kind of are.
I realized that, which kind of was a shock. But also, I started in 8th grade, and it's not like 8th grade was yesterday.
8th grade?
Yeah, okay, that was my first concert.
I just want to do one major shout out because I'm sure you're going to shout out.
You're shouting out?
Concerts with. No, because my sister, our super
rock
fan,
star,
has been just like blowing up Facebook with links to our podcast and commenting on everything. So Jenny Percy,
please.
Thank you so much. We love reading your comments.
We do.
We just really appreciate you. I mean,
if you are following us on YouTube, please just drop a comment or something. So, because we really enjoy it.
We do.
Leslie too. Leslie has
Leslie.
She's really big about she's commenting. She's she's working her way up from normal fan to super fan.
Super fan.
My mom is still watching, but she's not commenting as much. But she does watch. And I almost have Mama watching. I think I have kind of convinced her what we're doing.
Yeah.
I don't know. She might say tomorrow. What is that again that you're doing?
But the clip, like the traveling one and the concert one, she would follow that. Probably not the TV and the movie things as much.
Actually, I think I'm going to start her with the movies.
Okay.
Not the first one, because I think the first one we were all over the place.
Okay, so let's go concerts.
Okay, let's go.
I'm trying to think of I didn't even think of the fact that I went to the Pretenders concert when I was in 7th grade. I didn't even add that on my list. So who did you see in 8th grade?
Oh my gosh. With Heather Williams Gwen.
Hey, Heather.
Hey, Heather. I saw Reba at the
really?
Coliseum.
Betsy, at the Coast Coliseum?
Yes.
Wow.
And it was so much fun. She changed outfits 15, 20 times. Maybe not that many, but she changed a lot. It was awesome. It was my first concert. It was fun. Do you know that song, Why Haven't I Heard From You? So tell me why. I'm not going to sing because I'm a bad singer. But that was real popular back then. And I think that was the CD. I was going to say album. I don't even know if kids are going to know what an album is. But it was, I think that's what she was promoting, that one.
All of our younger listening fans.
Yeah.
Okay, so Reba, 8th grade.
Reba, 8th grade. And then I went and saw Alanis Morissette in New Orleans. Yeah.
Where was I? Wasn't I in on this? Who did you go with?
So my uncle and aunt had 2 tickets. No, they had 3.
Okay.
No, they had 4. So because it was in New Orleans, Uncle Jim, I don't know if I can say his name. So my uncle took me, and then I got to invite 2 friends. Well, they wanted Teresa to come.
That's it. I'm done. Mic drop. I cannot believe it.
First of all, that
Alanis freaking Morissette, and you did.
Yes.
Of all your friends, who is the most like Alanis Morissette?
So again, Teresa and Heather went. And let me tell you, it was a school night, and my uncle,
and Teresa got to go?
Oh, yeah. So, but listen, this is not my uncle's scene at all. So we just were up there, we're dancing, and we're standing up the whole time, and we're kind of up in nosebleed section, and people behind us are sitting, and I'm sure they're like, come on, girl, sit down. But we're just having a great time. And all of a sudden, my uncle would come back, and he has all these snacks and drinks. And we're like, oh, thanks. And then he's gone. And then we're still having a good time. And then he comes back with T-shirts. And we're like, wow. So.
What the heck?
Yeah, that was 11th grade.
I'm feeling 25 years later, some betrayal here.
I am sorry.
And I think this was intentionally not brought up in our friend circle because you knew we would be pissed. Amber may not have been mad. Shout out Amber. Amber's been listening.
Amber has been listening. Amber. Hey.
Amber would not have been listening, would not have probably cared that much to Miss Alanis Morissette. Betsy would have been like, Isn't it ironic?
Is it?
Okay,
I
moving
like how
on.
you did that there. Good
Yeah.
job.
Okay, Karen. Is
So,
backstabbing,
oh
like, is
my
that a Karen
gosh.
thing?
Wait, calm down. Um, if, if she tours now, I don't want to go. She's become a
Now
different
you're
person.
preemptively saying, even now, if you wanted to go, Betsy, when we're 40, I wouldn't go with you. That's just
That's,
like double rude.
but not
Not
because of
only did I
you,
not
because
bring
of
you in high
her.
school
I
when
mean,
I could
now,
bring two friends,
if,
now I wouldn't even go with you.
well, no, I wouldn't go see her now. I'd probably fall asleep. She's a completely different person. She's not like hand in my pocket anymore. She's like, let me go take a nap, you know?
Okay, but I
So,
bet she would have to play some of her older stuff because a lot of people go to see her.
okay. Well, I don't know because I went and saw Bon Jovi.
Okay.
That's on my bucket list, y'all.
That was definitely bucket list.
He was in New Orleans. I went with Chrissy from work. Shout out Chrissy. And obviously there's going to be a lot of shout outs too in this
Of
whole
course, yeah.
episode. And we went and saw Bon Jovi in New Orleans, and it was also a work night. I was going to say school night, but I'm actually working.
You're an adult.
And yeah, and he he opened with a song. I was like, what is this song? And then he played, but I still was like, oh, it's Bon Jovi. And we had pretty good seats. But
And
you know
Bon
what?
Jovi's like not just on your bucket list, he's like the top of your bucket
He
list for
is. I
concert.
almost went to Chicago to see him one
Yes,
time.
we
And
were
my
trying to do that
mom,
together. We tried
yes.
to
And
fly
my
and
mom
meet
was
in
like,
Chicago.
no, you're not a groupie. Well, yeah, I really would have been a groupie, Mom.
I'm an
But
adult. I want to go.
but it was also a blizzard. So that's why I didn't go. But he did a lot of new stuff and old stuff, and did like new song, old song, new song, old song. And it literally, the whole concert was, oh, stand up, the old stuff. Yeah. Oh, sit down. I don't
Take
know
a
this
break.
song.
Go get a snack.
Yes. And some people said, the people next to us, they just said, I'm out. This is terrible. I would not have done that
Well,
because,
you're a super fan. You're very
oh yeah.
dedicated.
And he ended it with You Give Love a Bad Name. I think he ended it with that one. I think that
Now,
was
was
his
it just you
final.
and Chrissy?
Yes. And it was
And it was
fun.
in New Orleans.
Yes. And then I went to work the next day, and Chrissy was smart and took off.
Yeah,
Should have done
that
that.
would be smart. That's
Which is
worth it.
another concert I went to in New Orleans with Johnette. That was a work night.
Never started listening to us, Johnette.
It was a work night with Justin Timberlake.
Oh
Did
my
you know
gosh.
I went to him?
I think I barely remember, but I'm writing that down for later because you were asking me who I wanted to see if I went, and I was like,
okay. And we kept climbing up in the dome and climbing and climbing. And when I finally turned around and I could almost touch the ceiling of the dome, I thought, oh my gosh, we're really far up here. But it was still a really good show.
That's how you know it's a good show.
Yeah,
You can
it
have
was
the
very entertaining.
But you still like have a blast and everybody is entertained, even if you're in the very, very back. So bucket list, one of my bucket list was, so I've been to.
Do you want to do that now or do you want to wait?
I'm just going to tell you one of mine. So my biggest bucket list was Brad Paisley. We also went, so I've only gone to two major concerts. The other bucket list I went to was my husband's bucket list. So we'll get to that one later. So Brad Paisley. And what happened was the story of how I actually went to his concert is really crazy because I had told people that the one like major concert I wanted to go to for my bucket list was Brad Paisley. Brad Paisley is the reason I started listening to country music, actually. I used to not listen to any country music. And then I had a roommate after college. We were teaching it together. And I had a roommate who loved country music. And I was like, I don't really like country. And she's from Nashville. So she's
who is she?
Claire, Sister Claire.
Oh, Sister Claire.
And this is before she became a sister. And she was like, excuse me, how do you not like country music? You just haven't heard the right country music. And I'm like, I don't really like it. Of course, I was listening to Alanis Morissette at the time. So, so she said, so she got me started on early Brad Paisley stuff, early stuff. And it's so funny, and it's so like, it's just witty and upbeat.
The Brad Paisley, like where he met his wife doing the, well, I'm going fishing, that one?
Yes. Yeah. Like the old stuff.
Yeah.
And I just like, man, this guy is great. So I pretty much had a little crush on Brad Paisley. So everybody knew if I had a chance to go to a concert, it was going to be Brad Paisley. Now, I also was teaching and did not have a lot of money, like right out of college, paying off loans, teaching, don't have a lot of money. And it was in the spring. And the reason why I remember is because Brad Paisley came here to Corpus Christi. So this was years ago, because he would not be in Corpus now. He'd be going to San Antonio and Houston and just
or
go
Dallas.
right past Corpus. If you live in Corpus,
bigger cities for sure.
Other places, yeah. And so it was in Corpus, but it was the end. It was like a week or two after Easter, because during Lent that year, I gave up listening to the radio in my car, which is the only time I listen to radio. And so I didn't even know that he was coming.
Really?
Over my head, was unaware that he was coming to Corpus, which is really weird. So then I find out he's coming to Corpus, and I'm like, Brad Paisley's coming to Corpus Christi. I'm so excited. And then one of my friends is like, you're not going to get tickets now. It's next week. And I'm like, what? So it was completely sold out. I was like, I'm so mad, because I didn't even get a chance to buy the ticket, and I would have spent whatever it cost, because it was here and it was Brad Paisley.
Right. And he was on your bucket list.
Yeah. This is the one biggest concert I wanted, the one I want to go to the most. And so I just was like, well, that's it then. I mean, there's no tickets left. 2 days before the concert, it's like a Thursday, my friend calls me up and she's like, hey, so my brother has 2 tickets. He's going to Brad Paisley. And I've met her brother a couple times. And she's like, the guy who's going to go with backed out. She was like, I already have a commitment and I can't go. I know you love Brad Paisley. Do you want to go?
Wow.
And I was like, it's like Thursday night. I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? I'm like, yes, I'm going. And she's like, okay, like, I'll send you.
So did he play? Was it on a Thursday night that he played, or did he play on a weekend?
Saturday. No, it was a Friday.
Fun.
So they
called
me like Wednesday night for Friday. And I don't even remember. It was the World Tour, I think.
I don't know. Yeah. He did have a song called The World.
And so it was that tour, whatever year that was. And so I just like showed up, and like I'd met this guy a couple times, and like found my seat and got my ticket at the will call box, and like
nice
Brad Paisley. And I was like, this is amazing. He puts on a great concert.
Does he?
He really does. And it helped because I knew like all of his songs.
You're a big Brad Paisley.
So it was super fun, and it was also like a free ticket last minute. Like I didn't think it was going to happen, so it just all worked out. So that was Brad Paisley does really good concerts. So
speaking of last minute,
shout out Brad Paisley.
Right, I was in class in college, and it's wrapping up. It's kind of late in the afternoon, and I see Amber again. Shout out Amber, like walking, and she didn't go to my school. And she's like walking up and down, and I'm like, hey, what are you doing in my school? And Amber was like, hey, do you want to go see Celine Dion tonight?
Tonight?
Yes.
Wait, when was this? What year is this?
Oh, this was 98, 99, 2000, something like that. And she was playing in New Orleans. So I changed clothes, and we went to New Orleans and watched Celine Dion. Did you know I saw her?
Yeah, I did know you saw her, but I didn't know the story behind it. So she just had an extra ticket. Somebody had backed out.
I don't know where she got the tickets, and she was like, "Let's go."
People to just get tickets.
I don't know.
This didn't happen to me. I go on Ticketmaster. I have to buy my ticket at a really high price, like everybody else,
and 6 months in advance.
Right.
Yeah. It was, and Celine was a concert that you mostly sat, because she's just, she just sings loud a lot and very well, not like me.
Well, and the crowd too that's there makes it different.
And but it was still a really good concert. If I have not seen Celine, I would put her probably on my bucket list, because she's Celine flipping Dion.
Yeah, exactly.
So that was a fun.
Wait, I have to tell you a funny story about my mom, because I haven't said any funny stories about my mom yet. First of all, my mom watched our Dirty Dancing episode, so that was fun. And she told us what gherkin is. Gherkin is pickles.
Oh,
They're
yeah,
those little mini pickle things.
Didn't know that. Thanks, Miss Hess.
So my mom, she calls me and I'm on the way to the concert. She's like, hey, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm going to a concert. And she's like, really? And I tell her it's Brad Paisley. I'm like, you know, he's like my heartthrob crush, whatever, you know. And she's like, oh, well, you never know. Maybe you'll meet him. And I'm like,
what? No.
Well, even if I did meet him, I don't think so, Mom. I don't think you understand how big this person is, you know. And she's like,
you know,
well,
you gotta
never
love
know.
her, though.
You never know, Betsy. And I said, Mom, he's married. And she's like, well, is he happily married? You never know. And I go, Mom. She's like, you never know. I said, Mom, sometimes you know, okay? It's not gonna happen. I'm sorry. But
sometimes
Mom's sister's so supportive, you know.
Yes, they are.
That I could just bump into Brad Paisley at my nosebleed section.
He'll dump Kimberly from what was she on? Father of the Bride, dump her.
Yes, exactly. Kimberly Williams Paisley.
Yes.
And I love that they're happily married for years and years.
I know, I do like them.
I wasn't actually trying to meet Brad Paisley. Okay, go ahead. Speaking of meeting people, is that what you're going to say?
I was going to say, speaking of moms, one of my concert was with my mama. Actually, I've gone to several.
With your mom?
Yeah, I went to Alan Jackson with her.
Ooh.
And I felt really bad for her with Alan because I sat here, Mom sat on this side of me, and then Alan was over here on the stage. And I was screaming the whole time. Woo! Woo! And my mom, at one point, she was like, Angela. And, you know, I just was excited. It was great. And Alan Jackson it was at Biloxi, the Coliseum. He just stood up there.
He came to Biloxi?
Yeah. Yeah. Great. Just stood up there, him and his guitar. And it was so good. Because you know how some people, when they record their voices, no, his voice was just what you hear on the radio. And it was fun. And it was, oh, sorry. Are you there? Yeah. So
I'm here.
So it was fun and it was really good. And then just recently, and I was so happy I was able to do this for Mom for Christmas. I gave her Cher tickets. Cher is one of my mom's like all-time favorite. Of course, my mom's a little, you know, she's in her 60s. So she grew up with Sonny and Cher and all of their songs. And we went and saw Cher at the Coliseum. And she loved it. I loved it. There was kids that were teenagers to like 80-year-olds there. And some people with a lot of clothes and some people with no clothes. So it was a show amongst a show. And she entertained and she changed outfits 10 times.
Yeah, I bet. I could see that with her.
Yeah. And it was fun.
So these concerts that were at the Coliseum on the Mississippi coast.
The Coliseum's a big deal.
Is there still big names that come to the Mississippi coast?
Oh, yeah. Cher was last year.
What?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. And who else? Oh, I saw Kenny Chesney at the Coliseum when I was in PA school. He seems like he'd be
a fun show. Was it a fun show with him?
It was so much fun. The only awkward part is I went with Katie. That was my roommate from MPA school. And I don't know who else went. And there was two guys that sat next to us. And one of the guys said, oh my gosh, don't I look just like Kenny Chesney? And I said, oh yeah. No, he didn't look anything like Kenny Chesney. Why are you going to ask a complete stranger that question when you don't? So, but Kenny Chesney
hit on you.
I don't think so. So he was fun though too. I also saw when they were really big, the Dixie Chicks at the Coliseum. And that was a really, really fun concert too. I forgot who I went to the Dixie Chicks with. And if you listen to the podcast and I forgot, I'm sorry. But you know who else we get? We get a lot of people at the casinos.
Yes. Yeah.
I saw Trace Adkins, who I love me some Trace Adkins. He was at the casino and I went with Melissa and shout out Melissa, and saw him. That was enjoyable. And Colin Ray. Do you even remember who Colin Ray is?
The name is familiar, but I couldn't tell you any music.
He sings like Love Me, Love You, and One Girl, One Boy. And that was the first time, because he had a lot of hits. He was big in the 90s country. And I thought, how is he going to sing all of his songs? Well, he did, what do they call, like a mismatch? Like they put them all together and just run a bunch, like 4 or 5 songs together. And I kind of didn't like that. So, but he was the first person that did that. And he was at the casino too. Also with Melissa, went to New Orleans. Are you ready for this one? And saw Kid Rock.
I did not know you would see Kid Rock.
And Lynyrd Skynyrd opened for Kid Rock. And that was a fun concert. Lynyrd Skynyrd, I mean, obviously it's not the real band. But then Kid Rock came on around 9 o'clock. And I kid you not, it was almost midnight when he left the stage. And he just put on a great show. It was so entertaining. I would go see him again if I could.
That's good to know. Yeah. Okay. Maybe Kid Rock if he comes to my area.
Yeah, I just don't know how that's going to go with you and Kid Rock. I mean, do you know a Kid Rock song? What's your favorite Kid Rock song?
Tell me some names. You don't remember titles.
Hold on. Stop the recording. Okay, so really, you name me your favorite Kid Rock song.
Only God Knows Why.
Oh, that's a really good one. Is that the only one you know, though?
I would recognize them, but I can't, I just don't know titles a lot and artists. I do really badly with that stuff.
Can I tell you how he opened the concert? He opened with the Journey song, Just a Small Town Boy.
Really? It's weird to open with somebody else's song.
Well,
right?
but
like a cover.
It's Just a Small Town Girl and then Just a Small Town Boy. What is it? Growing up in Detroit? Because he's from Detroit.
Don't Stop Believing.
Yeah. So he opened with that. Not the whole song, but and when he came out and opened with that, everyone was standing up. There was no handicapped people there. Go figure. So Melissa and I stood up in the handicap section the whole time and just had a ball. Now, if a handicapped person would have come, we would have gone back to our seats and stood there. But
okay, Karen.
Standing there, we had just more room.
I think if a handicapped person would have come, you wouldn't even notice because you were screaming your head off, jumping around.
That's a possibility too.
Okay,
but you didn't have to call me out, Karen.
In the concerts you've been to, are there any where you've done backstage passes or you've met the artist or anything like that?
In the concerts, no. But can I tell you this story?
I hope it's the story I'm thinking of because I had a part in it.
No, this is not the one.
Go ahead.
Oh, I'm telling you that I'm talking about Garth Brooks. Came to New Orleans.
Yes.
And this was recently too. And he was doing 2 shows because it was he was just selling out like crazy.
I hear he does an awesome show. My parents went to see him actually.
What? So
I know, right?
He did 2 shows, one starting at 5 or 6 or 7, and then one at 10. Well, Maddie got tickets for me. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Same night, and then the next night he did 2 more, like a Friday and a Saturday. Dang. So Maddie and I went on I think it was a Friday. It was a Friday night, and we had the second show, and we are way up in the nosebleed. I mean, way up there. Not as far as Justin Timberlake, but we're up there, people. And we got there early, so we're sitting there playing on our phones, and this guy comes up to us, and he has a pass around his neck, and he says, "Hey, come over here." So of course, we're in New Orleans. What am I going to do? Oh, let me follow you, stranger. I don't know you, but you have something around your neck that looks kind of important. So I am following you.
Why not?
And he said, how long have y'all been Garth Brooks fans? Well, I am much older than Maddie. And I said, forever. And Maddie is just like, yeah, forever. Maddie probably knows 2 songs of his. And he said, so tell me this. I have 2 front row passes. If you can name his first song, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh. And of course, Maddie is zero help.
Yeah.
So of course we don't get it, but he gives us the passes anyway. And Betsy, it was front row.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
I've only heard of that happening. It's never actually happened to anyone that I know, especially not myself. And when Garth Brooks, his first song was Ain't Going Down to the Sun Comes Up.
Yeah.
And he shoots up out of the stage and he runs over, and I kid you not, him and Maddie do this with their hand. They interlock their fingers. And then Maddie's like, I just touched Garth Brooks. And then in this song, there's Callin' Baton Rouge. He's like doing water bottles. Song. Me too. And the place erupted with that. And he's doing water bottles, spraying them right over me. And I was like taking a shower, like, yes! It was, and the guy told us before we went down there, y'all have to scream as loud as you can at every song. And I was like, don't you worry. And Maddie said after the first song or second song, she said, Angela, my throat is hurting. And I said, listen, you just open your mouth and you act like you're screaming then. We're not going to let that guy down.
Because you're right. Like, they do want people in the first, 5 rows that are going to be crazy. But a lot of times, young people like you and Maddie aren't going to be able to pay for freaking front row seats.
You couldn't even get them because they had them blocked off, I think, the first 2 or 3 rows. And they did that. And it was amazing. And Trisha Yearwood came out and she sang a couple songs with him and then a couple by herself. Yeah. And then I'm telling you, it was one of the best concerts. I almost could not talk the next day. Almost.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's
it was
so
pretty cool.
I did not remember that. I was thinking of someone that a country singer that you met.
Oh, well, I didn't go to his concert, but
you met him. And you weren't going to meet him. And I was like, what the heck is wrong with you? Go talk to him.
I met Blake Shelton. Yes. In the Las Vegas airport going on that horrible trip on the Southwest trip.
The camping trip that we talked about previously. But that was when you arrived. And also,
and I remember
how well known was Blake Shelton at this time? Because he was flying in a normal commercial aircraft.
He was in coach and not even first class. And I recognized him. He sat a couple rows ahead of me, but he has a tattoo on his arm. That's how I knew for sure it was him. This was maybe he started dating Miranda Lambert. This definitely was before The Voice. I think his biggest song was probably Austin and then maybe Old Red. Yeah. The dog song. But I remember talking to you in the airport waiting for my luggage. And I was like, no, it's him. And you said, Angela, if you don't get a picture, I won't believe you. So
I said, did you go talk to him? Did you get a picture? And you're like, no, I don't know if I'm going to. And I said, Angela, I'm not believing you. You need to go get a picture if you're going to get it. And then I'm like, this is your opportunity. Just go. And you're like, well, I don't know. And you're like, fine, I'm going to go. And then you got off the phone and you did.
And he was so nice. Because I said, are you Blake Shelton? He was waiting for luggage like everybody else. And I said, are you Blake Shelton? And he was like, yes, ma'am.
Oh, see, everyone says that he's a really nice guy. Like if you talk to him.
Well, he had a friend with him and he made his friend. Cause I was like, do you mind if we take a picture? And he was like, yeah. And so he made the friend take the picture of us. And it was really, really nice. And I still have that picture and it's also on Facebook because that was probably the best thing that happened on that stupid trip.
I was going to say, see, if you wouldn't have endured that trip.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I could have turned right back around and headed home.
That's it. I just flew to Vegas. I met Blake Shelton. I'm done.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. So, another concert I'll throw out. I'm about to drop a lot of names.
Okay. I'm ready.
For my birthday, are you okay?
I'm good. I think I'm ready.
Did you fall out of the chair? Do you need to put the wine down?
I do.
What's going on?
All right, go ahead.
For my birthday, mine and Catherine's from work, a group of us, me, Catherine, Leslie, shout out again, Leslie, Nathan, and Maddie went to see Shania Twain in New Orleans. Fun. It was really fun. The little Airbnb that we stayed at, not so fun.
No.
But the concert was, I mean, this was probably 2 years ago, and she put on a show. She flew across the people. I don't know what it is. I mean, in some apparatus. And really, it was, she changed clothes multiple times. The backdrop of the stage changed a whole lot. It was very entertaining.
Nice.
Yeah. And she's getting older, so that was kind of a surprise. But hey,
if Cher can do it, if Celine Dion can do it, then come on.
Cher didn't move around the stage as much, but
just costume stuff.
But Shania moved quite a bit. And, her songs are really fun. Any Man of Mine, Whose Bed Have Your Boots Been Under? I mean, those are just fun songs,
And that's the kind of, I enjoy those concerts a lot. Like upbeat, just fun music.
You're basically standing the whole time. So, burning some calories that you're drinking, whatever. It's good. And then recently, you'll love this. Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
I went with another group of girls. Grace, Johnette, Melissa, Michelle, Ashley, and myself went to New Orleans and saw New Kids on the Block.
I knew it. I was waiting for this one to come up.
And Salt and Pepper? Oh.
It was a mixtape tour, right? Because they came to Corpus.
It was so, why didn't you see them?
I didn't, okay, the date was like something else was going on. And then it was also, I know what it was. It's because I wanted my sister, Jenny, I wanted her to go with me. And I was like, I'm going to buy her tickets for like Christmas or birthday or something. But then she was going to be out of town. And also she was really pregnant or something. And I just don't remember. It just ended up not happening. And I didn't really think it was going to be a concert that my husband, bless his heart, I don't think that he would appreciate it.
No.
Because he's, born in 1988.
Yeah. He missed all that.
It's just not, I mean, Salt and Pepper and New Kids on the Block. Like, I literally don't think he would even recognize any New Kids on the Block songs. Probably but there was a bunch of groups in that tour. They did a good job setting up that tour.
It was, and Betsy. And who else? Tiffany was in it, and there was another girl, Debbie Gibson.
Okay, I was going to say Debbie Gibson because I have mentioned, I said something like Electric Blue or something about Debbie Gibson to Sean, and he was like, "What? Who are you?" I never heard those names. I'm like, never mind.
Tiffany came out and sang one song because she was sick. A lot of people said, girl wasn't sick. Girl was in New Orleans partying and had a good time. And
I feel like I don't blame her that much when she's like on a tour of like 10 other groups.
Right. Yeah. Because in all honesty, like she sang the biggest song that I know of hers. So I was okay with her leaving.
Which song is it? Is that the Train?
Forgot.
No, that's Kylie Minogue. I was wondering who sings the locomotion.
Yeah, I forgot what. No, it's not Locomotion.
Come on.
But it was. You would recognize it. But so when in between the acts, they would play like a montage of songs.
Oh, fun.
Which,
that's great.
Yes, it was. And at one point, so Melissa bought our tickets. And we come out and we keep walking down and walking down. We are 2 rows from the floor. So we had really good seats. And let me tell you, Kim, my cousin-in-law, was across from us way up. And she texted me and she said, is this what you're wearing? Because we all had black shirts kind of off the shoulder with, 80s look. And I said, yes. She saw me from way up there. And then in the concert, the New Kids kind of went out in the crowd. Donnie Wahlberg, I could almost touch him. And Kim was like, she's videoing because he is there's a picture, I was going to send it out as my Christmas card with me like screaming, and he's right behind me.
You would have. Also, the fact that you never sent Christmas cards, and then this year you're like, look at me with one of the new kids.
With Donnie Wahlberg.
Meanwhile, half the people on your Christmas card list that you're mailing to is like, what is this? Who is this person?
If it would have been Mark, for sure it would have gone out with Christmas. But, you know, I mean,
Mark has better things to do.
I still love Donnie.
He's not in the Funky Bunch anymore. He's moved on.
Right. But that was a really fun concert. It was
well, I'll have to know if they do the mixtape tour again after all the COVID stuff.
I might
I'm signing up. The other thing about some of those concerts that are, you know, more just like nostalgic stuff where they do a bunch of things like that is they're super fun because you know the music. You go, you go with a fun group of people. Like, it's a blast. Also, the price of the tickets is a lot better than the big names right now. You know, like
now our tickets were still pricey,
but you were really close.
But yeah, I basically almost touched Donnie and Jordan. At another point, Jordan Knight came up and his sweat was almost like dripping on me, which I was fine with at that point too. So, you know, New Orleans used to stuff like that.
Of course. What's a little body fluid? No big deal.
Speaking also of New Orleans, and what my shirt that I'm wearing says, what does it say? Delicate. I took my nieces to go see Taylor Swift.
This is one that I want to see. I would like to go to Taylor Swift.
It was fun. The only thing I did not like about it, you know, I have a huge snake phobia. Out on the floor, and we had pretty good seats. On the floor, though, comes these two large snakes. First,
real snakes?
No, not real snakes. But they're big. They're just, she's dancing around. They're huge columns that come up from the floor, and they're snakes. And as they're coming up from the floor, I was looking at my niece, Macy, and I was like, oh my gosh, is that a snake? And of course, they're just dying laughing because they know me. And I'm like, Macy, go away. Because, you know.
It's not a real snake, though.
I know, but it still looks so bad. And then on the stage, she had a big snake with the fangs, and I didn't like that. But
which tour was this? Do you remember the name of it? Was it Delicate?
Last year, yeah, it was with that album. You know what she did have? When you walked in, she gave everyone a bracelet. Mm-hmm. And during the songs, those bracelets were lighting up. So the whole crowd lit up. It was fun. When she did Shake It Off, they were going different colors. So it really looked pretty.
Shake It Off is my 2-year-old daughter's favorite song right now.
Is it? What's your favorite Taylor Swift song?
Oh, that's tough.
I know it is. She has so many. You can go back to country, or you can go to her pop stuff.
I don't know. I don't have an answer. I didn't have.
Okay,
you should
good
have asked
answer.
me this before the podcast.
Well, I didn't know I was going to ask it.
What's
just
your
threw it
favorite
out
Taylor
there.
Swift song?
I like "Are You Ready for It." It
That's
just is empowering to me. And then I
can see that her older stuff that's more kind of like romancy and like things like kind of like girl and boy next door kind of stuff. It's cute and I liked it at the time, but it's not my favorite. Like it didn't stand the test of time. I wouldn't mind if I was at a concert, she's singing it, but it isn't something that I think to pull up and listen to, if that makes sense. Like
she was the only concert because when she left the stage, I told the girls, I went with Macy, Kirsten, and Dana. I took them all. It was for Macy and Kirsten's birthday. And then, of course, Dana came. And I told him, I said, now listen, she's gone, but everyone claps and we cheer. And she comes back for an encore. No, the only person I have ever been to that did not come back for an encore.
Really?
And everyone is screaming and
she didn't come back?
No, then they start tearing the stage apart. And I thought, well, let's go.
That's really unusual. They usually kind of plan that. Like, I'm going to leave and then I'm come back and do one more song.
Exactly.
It's the biggest song.
Exactly.
Like sometimes they do 2 encores.
Yes. and she didn't even do one. That's the only concert too I have been to where there was no encore, which was really weird.
That's
and
really weird.
Yeah, I felt bad for the girls because here I am kind of building up an encore and then nothing happens.
But I mean, they just plan it. It's not like they have to oh, I have to come back and sing more. They've planned it that
and it's also not like the crowd wasn't going crazy because the crowd was going crazy.
Oh yeah. For sure. And that's kind of weird on her part.
Yeah.
They should have
Another one that I went to, and I had taken my nieces, I took Avery, listen to me, not Avery, she's a baby, Allie, Grace, and Dana, and Katie, my roommate from PA school, we went and saw Tim and Faith.
Oh, together.
Yes, and Allie, Grace, and Dana were young. They were probably 9 or 10, and they fell asleep during the middle of it.
Oh my gosh.
So
you're like, why did I buy you a ticket? Are you freaking kidding me?
I didn't buy the tickets. Brandy, thank goodness, she bought the tickets. So I just made sure they were okay in their seats and turned around and enjoyed the show. And every now and then would look back and they were out. It's a concert. People are screaming. And Tim and Faith are just taking it away. And they were out. Didn't wake up until I said, y'all have to wake up so we can walk down these stairs.
I feel like I would not be buying concert tickets for kids that young for that reason.
Yeah.
Because I'd be like, I'm sorry, I'm going to pay for you to have a fun babysitter and I'm going to go see Tim and Faith.
Right. Although at Taylor, there was a lot of young kids.
And that makes sense. But at the same time, even if my 9-year-old really loved Taylor, I'd be like, maybe I'll just buy you some like merchandise. I don't know. It just seems like a big price to pay for.
I know.
I don't know. When I was 9, I couldn't stay up that late either. I would fall asleep.
No, well, and obviously they didn't stay up that late. Out.
Yeah.
I don't even know if they made it to because I forgot who the opening was, but I don't even think they made it to when Tim and Faith came out. So they just saw the
opener wasn't that great. If you forgot who it was.
Yeah. Sorry. I mean, I have no idea who the opener was, but that was also a while back.
I went, the best openers I saw, Lyle Lovett and Robert Earl Keen opened for George Strait.
Wait, Lyle Lovett and who?
Robert Earl Keen. Do you know who he is? He's an older artist. No,
I don't know. What is he?
I didn't really know, but I recognized. I can't. I recognize the songs when he was playing. But Lyle Lovett, obviously.
Okay, Karen.
What? I don't pretend to know older country music. I just said Brad Paisley is the one who introduced me to country music anyway. Okay. So I'm a pretty young country fan. Let's be honest. I spent my high school days listening to Alanis Morissette and Nirvana.
I'm sorry. So. I am sorry. You're gonna keep that going.
One more time. Who did I listen to? Alanis Morissette. Okay.
So y'all went and saw George Strait.
We went to see George Strait because I got my husband George Strait tickets for Christmas one year because I don't know what to get him. Sometimes it's hard to shop for people, And I was like, I read somewhere do football tickets or whatever. But his work schedule is hard to plan when we can do football tickets. So I was like, and then, whatever. So we had talked about it and he's like, the one concert I want to see before I die is George Strait. That is neither one of us are huge concert people. We'll go if we have an opportunity, but we're not this is what we're always determined to do. And so
he's retiring.
And George Strait, then this was in 2018, but even in 2018, he was doing 2 shows a year, two nights. That's it in Vegas. He did a Friday and a Saturday night. And then they said he may add another one in the fall, which he did some benefit for a cause later. But he only did February. He did a Friday and a Saturday night in Vegas, and that's it. And the year before, in 2017, he'd only done a Friday and Saturday night in Vegas. That's it.
Wow. So he's the man, though.
Yeah, and he can do that.
I mean, they call him king of country for a reason.
Yeah, so he did his one show, and our wedding dance, our first dance at our wedding was Cross My Heart. So I was like, So Sean knows every song he's ever sung, but I am more recently a country fan.
So is that your favorite George Strait song then?
I mean, I don't know. I like it.
It's your wedding song.
I like more upbeat stuff. I do. It's a beautiful song. It's really beautiful. Yeah. But I like fun country. That is more, I like to dance to fun, faster songs too.
Right.
I like to sing faster songs. So anyway, we went and to Vegas. Sean's brother met us there. It was just like three of us went to this concert. We met people that were there. So we went to the Saturday night show. We met people there that were staying in our hotel that had come in 2017, the year before, and they went to the Saturday night show. And they came back in 2018 to go to the Saturday night show because they said he has so many hits that he does half of his songs on Friday on the first show and the other half on Saturday. So they came a second year to see him
the other
songs.
That's fun. He does have a lot. He has over 50 number ones or something ridiculous like that.
It was just crazy. So it was amazing to like be at a pretty long, like he sang a long time, you know, and he time. He isn't like, you know, he's not changing outfits or anything. He's just sitting on a stool, just talking,
kind of like Alan Jackson, probably just standing up there with a guitar and singing.
He did a couple of extra things that I thought were really cool. Like he said, the proceeds from the concert each year, he gives a house to a vet that is homeless. So he brought he brought a vet up on stage and gave him a home, and gave him keys, and that was really neat. And so I guess he's been doing that for years. Every show he uses enough of the proceeds for a house for somebody that's homeless.
Oh, nice.
So I was like, that's really cool. So he just put on a really great show. And I mean, I also don't have a lot of experience with concerts like you do, Angela. But
I didn't realize I had that much, that I went to that many concerts until I started writing them for this episode. And I was like, and it's still, I mean, there's people that go to 2, 3, 4 concerts a year. So my little list is nothing compared to theirs, but I am, because I would not consider myself a concert person until I wrote my list. Now, we did go to a concert together, you and I. Do you remember?
We did. So we went.
I thought you were saying that like we did, like question mark. But
no question mark, Karen.
Saying
just,
it excited.
We did.
Oh my gosh.
So Angela and I both thought that we wanted to go to New Year's Eve in New York City at one point in our lives.
We did think that.
We went to.
I don't want to do that now.
In Nashville. What year was this?
Well, before you and Sean got married.
I think it was 2015 because I met Sean in 2015. Yeah, later.
Okay, then maybe I think it was 2015. We'll go with that. Good year then for you.
So, what?
Good year for you then.
Yeah, either 2014 or 2015. But I think it was 2015. Anyway, we went to Nashville. I had to be there for a conference or something anyway, and I was like, "Hey, let's go. Let's do New Year's in Nashville." We stayed at the Grand Ole Opry, not the Grand Ole Opry, Opryland
Hotel, which is, and they gave us the map, and I was like, it's a hotel, I don't need a map. And I walked 10 feet and I said, oh wait, give me that map back. I mean, it's humongous.
So it was a fun little like long weekend trip.
And my mom came with us. Yes. And she had the best time. Remember we went to that bar? What was that bar called?
Betsy's.
What?
Wasn't one of them called Tootsie's?
Tootsie's, yes. It's a real famous bar. And I don't know how we got a table right up at the front. But I went and sat Mom down and I was like, sit here. I'm going to get us drinks. And we wrote our name on the wall because everyone wrote their name on the wall. And she was clapping and having a great time.
So we just we did all the Nashville stuff. And then
that's where we recorded our song.
We recorded Friends in Low Places, which exists somewhere. We don't need to talk about that. And then, so the New Year's Eve show in downtown Nashville was Lady Antebellum, now Lady A. And it was just a free show. We figured it'd be packed. They were like, you need to get there like 6 or 7 p.m., but it was so cold. It was below freezing.
It was freezing.
And we were like, we could not stand on the streets. We did not have proper clothing for that.
No,
we were not prepared.
I was wearing flats. Because they look good with my outfit, but not at all. It was, my feet were like, they were like cubes of ice. And it was so cold.
I wore my boots, my cowboy boots, because it was so cold with like 2 pairs of socks.
Yes.
And I couldn't like feel my legs inside my jeans because it was so cold. It might have been.
Now, there were a lot of people, but remember, we just worked our way through the crowd because there was only 2 of us. So we were able to.
We also didn't go down there until I think 10 or 10:30.
We got there
we were like,
late.
we can't. It's just it's too bloody cold.
Well, and remember we almost didn't go because it was so cold.
And I think that's what a lot of people didn't show up because of that.
Right.
But you know, it was the location that was aired with the countdowns.
Yes,
it was aired for the countdown
Broadway,
for Central Time Zone.
Their main road, which is kind of like a clean version of New Orleans Bourbon Street.
Yeah. So they had the stage set up. Lady Annabelle put on a great show.
They did. It was
as soon as they did the countdown, they did a bunch of covers. They did super fun cover songs for the next hour or two.
Right.
They had confetti. It was just really great. And I feel like it had all the positives you get from a big outdoor New York City type celebration. But you also didn't have to wait 24 hours and not have access to a bathroom.
In New York, exactly.
Because I hear in New York it's really insane with you have to stand in this little 1 foot square,
a little bitty area,
go to the bathroom and stuff.
Yes, I couldn't do that.
So we had we walked around. We were half a block from the stage.
We were very close to the stage.
Yeah,
and they were extremely entertaining too.
Yeah.
For it to be so cold, they sang really well, good. Well, I don't know how they sang. It was fine.
Well. Well done, Lady A.
Yes, Lady A.
And that may be the only concert that we have been to together, Angela.
The only big concert. Remember we went to the Molly Ringwalds? And I don't know if you call that
we've done some small stuff. Don't forget the cruise entertainment. I think they count because they dedicated a song to you for your birthday.
Oh my
And you went up on stage.
Yes, I sang
We
with
have
them.
the tambourine and bruises to prove it, don't we, Angela?
Yes. And y'all, that song Gloria, I'm not going to sing it, but because it was my birthday, they changed the words to Angela, and it was so good. And they also, remember, we were chanting the whole time Bon Jovi, and finally they said, we don't know a Bon Jovi song, but they learned part of a Bon Jovi song and sang it for my birthday. Do you remember
the next
that?
night?
Yes.
Yeah, they're like, we got some Bon Jovi for you guys because they recognize Betsy's group.
That was fun. I forgot about.
Oh my
gosh,
gosh,
that was good.
The next day, Angela's like, look at my hand, and it was black and blue because she was hitting the tambourine so hard on her hand. She bruised herself.
Y'all, I took that seriously. It was my job when I was up there.
It jingles. You can just tap it, Angela. You don't have to do it so hard.
I was the best tambourine player at least that night. Guaranteed.
Yeah. I agree with you wholeheartedly.
Thank you.
Let's have some more wine like we did that night.
Yeah.
Also, we got 5 minutes, girl. Keep it rolling.
So let's do this. I think that's all the concerts. If you could pick one or two, if COVID didn't exist right now, and you could say, I want to go see this person, it's on my bucket list. Who is your person or group?
I feel like this is going to sound crazy. I feel like I would enjoy Taylor Swift, I think, a lot because I know a lot of her songs, and I hear she has a good
entertainer.
Yeah. I hear Garth Brooks is really good entertainer too. I don't even know if he's touring.
So no one's touring right now.
Well, I know, but I mean, okay.
He was touring.
I honestly think that I would go to the mixtape tour of
these
groups.
So if that comes
because
out
I would just enjoy
I'll come
it
with
so
you
much.
And go with you. It was so much fun. It was.
So I think big names I would do T Swift, Garth Brooks, Justin Timberlake, I think would be fun, but I don't know all of his music, so I don't know that I would.
Yeah, it was fun.
So besides those big names, I would just like to go to the smaller stuff of kind of the nostalgia stuff. I think it would be super fun.
Oh yeah. So mine
KOTB.
Would be. So mine would be Adele.
Oh yeah,
I would love
That'd
to go.
Be nice.
Adele, yeah,
Adele
and Chris Stapleton.
Okay,
I really like. Good. I like him. I like his voice. I would really. George Strait would be on my list, and then Bruno Mars.
Bruno Mars. Huh?
He did 2 halftime shows. Do you remember those? And they were so good. And the first halftime show that he did, I thought, Bruno Mars, he only has 2 or 3 songs out. But it was so good. And then obviously his second halftime show was even better. So I think his concert would be really fun. Going with a group, you know. And then maybe
you got to get the group going. That's my number one recommendation.
That is fun.
If you're going to go to concerts, you know, get a group to go with. It's hard. You're always going to have more fun if you're with, you know, a few friends.
Yeah. Well, I did have fun when I went with Mom to share. I don't know if she enjoyed Alan Jackson because I screamed a lot, but we did have fun. And if Elton John's just such a big person, not a big person, but you know, yeah. I think if he ever toured, I don't think he's even touring now, but maybe I would enjoy him. Nanny and Uncle Mike.
As you just told me, Karen, no one's touring right now.
Oh my goodness. Are you for real? Karen, put down the wine.
All right, we got to wrap this up. We hope that you have enjoyed episode 6 talking about
our concerts. So listen, y'all, just drop some comments. Let us know you're listening, watching.
What I learned tonight is that we need to go to more concerts together.
Yes, that would be so much fun.
That's the thing.
You can fly here or I can fly there. There's a lot of concerts that come to New Orleans.
You know what? I realized I do have someone that I really want to see.
Who?
Alanis Morissette.
Oh, Karen, stop it. Okay, Karen. Okay.
You know, whenever I said we should go to concerts together, I meant that. And then I realized, well, we could have gone to other concerts.
I wasn't picking up on that. Is that what you meant? What did you realize?
Okay.
I told you, I don't want to see Alanis right now. She's probably doing yoga poses.
We'll see you guys for episode 7.
Yes, episode 7. We don't know what it's going to be about, but
it's a surprise.
We'll see. Yeah.
Okay.
It's always a surprise.